one of the spots I usually get alopecia in is like right in the back here. But look at that. That's a whole like lace front wig baby hair right there. So if I straighten my hair, I've got like top of butt length hair. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I actually found two bald spots on the back of my head. One up here, which looks like this, and then one in the back, which looks like this. And truthfully, I deal with alopecia off and on. So I don't have a thyroid anymore. I had to have a thyroidectomy. My thyroid was growing inward and it was crushing my windpipe, so they just took the whole thing out. And I also, prior to that, was dealing with hypothyroidism. So because I don't have a thyroid anymore, if my medication is off, I deal with hypothyroidism, and one of the symptoms that I get is alopecia. So usually that's how I'll find out if I need to adjust my meds and things like that. So one of the spots I usually get alopecia in is like right in the back here. It's a bit hard for me to see, and I know this one, I actually didn't find out about this one until my sister was braiding my hair and giving me some knotless braids. Now, one thing I noticed when she had shown me, especially this one, was that the hair was growing back thinner, it was growing back sparse. So I decided, since I was seeing a lot of people with great results using a derma roller, that I was gonna get a derma roller too. So fast forward, I did get a derma roller. Let me just grab it. And actually, the set that I got for the derma roller, I thought it was a regular set of 3. It's a regular set of 3 with 3 different sizes, which is perfect. So I could change it up as I go. So the first size is 0.5 mm. I don't know, see that right there? And then this is obviously the smallest one. And then we have 1 mm. And then we have 1.5 mm. And I looked this up, and the ranges for you to do it for your scalp range from 0.5 to like 1.52. However, they recommend that if you are doing it at home on your own, do not go above 1.5 mm. So if you want to go for a 2 mm, then go somewhere else, but this amount is the max you should go at home. Now, I did also bother to look up like how often you should use it, because a lot of the videos I was watching, they're just like, oh yeah, I use it every day. You're not supposed to use it every day. Why? Because it's putting little micro tears in your scalp to allow blood flow, to allow follicles to grow, etc. So you have to make sure you're doing it properly, doing it right. So just for everybody at home doing this on their own, I just want to give you the breakdown before I even get into my routine. So the 0.5, this one, they said you can use it 1 to 3 times a week, but when you start slow. So for instance, start with once a week and then build up from there. And then this one, that is 1 mm, they said do it every 10 to 14 days. And then this one, the 1.5, they said do it every 3 to 4 weeks. So I created a whole plan that I'm going to follow starting today. And it is, so the first week, I'm gonna do it just once a week. Then I'll do 2 times, and then 3, and go from there. And then each month, I'm going to increase it, or at least each set I'll increase it. So for instance, obviously with this one, I can't do each month, but I will start with the first time I use it 14 days, then I'll make it 12 days, and then I'll do 10 days, so on and so forth. And then with this one, which is the 1.5 mm, I am actually going to use it first in a 4-week breakdown in between, and then 3.5, and then 3. Ideally, I want to get to a place where I'm just doing it once every 3 weeks and see the results. So just based off of that breakdown, which I am showing you right here, so yeah, this is actually how it's all going to break down, what I'm going to follow. And because of that breakdown, it's going to take about maybe 5-6 months for me to get through the full process, which is fine because a lot of people said they started really seeing results anywhere from 3 to 5 months. So now that we kind of figured out the breakdown and stuff, let's get started. Let me just go grab my hair oil, because as soon as I derma roll, I'm just going to oil my scalp. And the oil I'm going to be using is actually Emile's rosemary hair oil, that really popular one. It looks like this, and I'm actually mixing it with castor oil. So let me go and grab that. Okay, so I got it, and I actually just got my little hairbrush just so if I need to part my hair, it's a bit easier. But then I have it in here, and once again, this is a mixture of castor oil with the Emile's, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but it's with the rosemary hair oil that's really popular for hair growth. Eventually, at some time, I think I am going to just grab some rosemary and make a castor oil infused, a rosemary infused castor oil. And we're just going to go from there. And I actually bought these in a set of 3 from Amazon. And I find it a little bit easier because this comb part allows me to go under and directly to the scalp. So let me just take off my jewelry. So here we are. Sorry guys, I haven't done my curls in a bit, so it's more in a fluffy state. I'm gonna grab my 0.5 one. I'm just gonna start up here. Now, what I read was that they said to do up and down 3 times and then sideways. So I'm just gonna go up and down for right now for everything, and then I'll come back around and try to do sideways. And what's good about this is that I don't 100% have to move all the hair around. I just realized as I started going sideways. I am applying a little bit of pressure, so that way on the parts where my hair, there's a lot of hair in the way, I can just kind of feel it still. I'm trying to make sure I get the areas where I'm not really feeling it in certain areas. I think it's because my hair is all piled up in those places. I will say though, if you have a lot of hair, I do feel like it piles up and gets in the way. So if I had like a short buzz cut, it wouldn't be like layers upon layers from other sides covering it. So I'm trying to move the hair around as I'm going. I think next time I do this, I might just brush my hair out full flat and then just part it and go as I go, because this going everywhere, it's a bit hard. I think I kind of got everywhere for the most part. But like I said, I think in the future I'm gonna brush it out and just part it and do that as I go. So I'll try to show you guys that along the way. Now I'm just gonna take this, and as you can see, it goes straight to the roots. And I just squeeze a little bit. If I don't squeeze, it won't come out, which is great. Here. And now I'm just gonna massage it all in. And that is it. So right now, I'm just gonna put this all together. And I'm gonna do this same time next week. I'll give you an update, or maybe even like a quick, hey, this is how it's going. But yeah, just a reminder, these are my 2 alopecia bald spots. These are the 2 things we're gonna really be looking for. And you guys obviously seen my hair brushed out and everything, so we'll see the results. Hey everybody, so we're here in our first month check-in, and just to confirm with you, the first part of this video, I did the 0.5 mm one time that whole week, which you guys saw recorded. And then of course I did number 2 on my list, which was the 0.5 mm for twice a week, which completed. And then I did the next week, which was 3 times a week in the same size, and then last week, which was also 3 times a week in the same size. So since I have completed 4 rounds of the 0.5 mm, it's time to take it up a notch and go to the very first round of the 1.1 mm. So this one, if you remember, I should only do it once every 10 days to 10 to 14 days. So of course I'm going to start off with the first week being every 14 days, and then I'll kind of up it from there until I'm doing it 1 every 10 days. Now I'm not sure if I'm just going to do an update once a month, or if I'm just going to do it after each time I upgrade this. We'll really see how it goes. But before I even get into doing the one for this week, I do want to touch up on some things that I noticed with just my first month alone. So my first time doing this, like, I got everywhere all over my head. I kind of figured out a way, which was I parted starting from the bottom and worked my way up from there. It's just easier for me. But also I noticed that, one, of course, I could, because my scalp is so pale, I could see the blood rush up to there, which it provided a huge tingly sensation. And then also I have noticed like a bit of hair growing back. So I believe I took pictures of this. So I had 2 bald spots. This one was the one on the top of my head, and then this one was the one on the bottom. And as you can see, they both have grown back a bit. So that's one thing. I'm also noticing, like, in parts that didn't have much hair, there's starting to be very tiny strands growing in. So I'm hoping that with the 1 mm that we're gonna see a bit more change in the results. The other thing I want to say is, I know you might think that, oh, the spokes are small, it's not gonna catch much debris or hair follicles. Clean this. Clean this. I don't care if you clean it every week. I don't care if you clean it after every use. But if you do not clean it, you are not going to have the same effect, because the dead skin that goes on here, or any hair follicles or anything like that, it's going to like fill up to the point that the spokes itself can't press down. So definitely look into that. I've also noticed, since me doing it, my scalp hasn't been as dry. But I also think that's just because I'm also being a bit more frequent with oiling and moisturizing my scalp in the process. So with that being said, we're up to my step 4 off of my list, which I'm showing you guys right here again. And now we're just gonna go in and we're gonna do this one all on camera so you guys can see where I'm at now and how I do it changes. So of course I brushed out my hair with my paddle brush, and then I have my oil. This is castor oil in here. You can put your own oil. I do recommend rosemary oil. Then I have my edge comb, and of course I have this, and I have a scrunchie. So that's really all the tools that I really use for this. So I'm gonna just go back here. Okay, so as you can see, the back is parted up like this, and then I'll just kind of plop everything on the top like that. And this is where I go. So this one I actually feel a bit more than the first one, so, especially over thicker parts of my hair. Then I also like to go underneath. I will say this one pokes a lot more and it hurts a bit, but we're making progress. So this is here, and if you could see my scalp or zoom in on it, it's a bit red. I like to put a little bit extra oil in the back and kind of scratch a little bit with this, because I feel like the back doesn't get a lot of love as much because it's not seen. So all right, and there you go. I do want to show you this because I only recently noticed it, but my baby hair, when I pull it down like this, okay, you see that? This right here is a lot more baby hair than I've ever had, except for when I was a baby. Because before, I used to only get a little bit right here, just right there, and then just like this, well, less than this, like a little bit right here. This part here, all of this that's coming down now, these little small strands, my hair grows pretty fast, just letting you guys know. Especially when I take care of it and I take all my vitamins, it grows a little bit faster. But you see this was not really here before. It was maybe lightly, but not as much as it is right now. So I just want to show this because I've never had this much baby hair. But look at that. That's a whole like lace front wig baby hair right there. It's a lot. This is real hair. But it's a lot. So I think this is progress. And this, guys, this isn't even like that much hair, but it's something. So I'm thankful, especially because I've been hearing from other people who have said that they use derma rollers, their hair ended up growing a bit faster than they anticipated. So that's one good step that we are going in. Hey everybody, so I am about a month from my last check-in with you guys. I wasn't really going to come on, but I had to tell you that my bald spots are pretty much completely gone. It's at a point where keeping track of them any longer it makes no sense because it's a bit hard to find now. So I'm just gonna show it to you. So this right here is the top of my head, and just look at the difference. I'm ecstatic because it has been only 2 months and it has grown back. And then also look at this. This is the bottom one on my head. This one is usually my biggest one. Whenever I get it, I usually get a lot, mainly at the bottom half of my head, and look where it's at now. I'm thankful because usually whenever my hair does grow back, like I said, it grows back very sparse, very thin, kind of balding, and now it's almost like it's grown back like there's no tomorrow, like it's never been there. It's like the same thickness as the rest of this. Sorry guys, I brushed my hair out because I'm gonna do the video for my derma roller, but I just wanted to really just show you guys these results. This is literally like, I would say a month and 5 days, or maybe a month and 2 days from when I last did a check-in like this. So I'm excited, and next time I do a check-in, it's gonna be when I increase the size of the derma roller, so look out for that. I'm back, and this time I am on the final, the biggest size, which is 1.5. I'm a bit nervous about this because the 1 mm, I felt that a bit more. It hurt a bit more, so I know this goes a bit deeper, just slightly. But as you guys know, my alopecia bald spots are pretty much gone. And that was actually, I think, a week or 2 ago since I did that little surprise update. And I just really want to say that when I was looking at the results, which was only 2 months difference, every time I've had alopecia bald spots, it has grown back, but it has grown back very sparsely. And I'm just so thankful that everything has come together and that I have had so much of a difference. So just to show you guys that I have been on top of my game. So this is when I was at my number 6 step on the list, so the 1 mm, and I was doing it about 1 time every 12 days. And then from there, of course, I did step 7, which was every 10 days. And then I repeated that again with another 10 days. So here we are at step 9, almost at the end of this entire derma roller journey. And I am at 1.5 mm for 4 weeks. And then, of course, after that, it'll be 1.5 for 3.5 weeks, and then I'll do 2 more steps of 1.5 every 3 weeks. So far, I will say, in terms of keeping a consistent schedule, the 0.5 mm was the best because I could kind of do it every week. It was a little bit easier. The 1 mm, I guess, like every other week. Sometimes I would forget, but I had it on a calendar, so that helped me out a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna just go right into step 9 right here on camera so we can really see how that works. I actually didn't brush out my hair today yet, but I have my little spray bottle, and in here I actually have water infused with rosemary and cloves. And I only started doing this, I think, last week. Well, not even last week, maybe just a few days ago. So it did not have any impact on my alopecia bald spots, but let's see what's going on. So everything is brushed out. I'm just gonna go straight into my usual parting from the back all the way to the front. I just find that that is easier for me to do. Grabbing my 1.5. Weirdly enough, the 1 mm actually hurt so far a lot more. So I'm surprised. I don't have a scrunchie. So okay, it actually hurts a lot more in certain places. I think I cut my finger. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely hurts a lot more. I felt myself starting to tear up a bit, but my scalp is all red. So I'm just gonna moisturize it. Usual, doing the tingling thing. And this is my little serum. It has castor oil, rose hip, jojoba, and coconut. Oh my gosh, this is so soothing. Now, I will say, before I even finish, that a lot of people have said, wow, my hair has grown fast. So it is like all the way to halfway down my back. If I pull it straight, it's like at right above my tailbone. And I think around the time I started, it was just right up here. So that's like a good 6 or so inches in just the 2 months that I have been doing this. I don't know how much more it will grow because I think by the time I get to the end of this entire journey, it will be, my next time I do this is 4 weeks from now. It's about 3.5 months from now where I'll do my final checkup. So if it is much, much longer, then that would be amazing. But I will keep taking videos for each step that I do. And I look forward to seeing the entire end process and figuring out if I am going to keep derma rolling. So far, it seems like it, after this entire derma rolling journey. Hey everybody, I'm back and I am officially done with my derma rolling experience. I actually did step 12 yesterday, but before we go into the full results, because I let yesterday marinate, I want to show you guys my step 10. And then of course I did step 11, And then I got down to yesterday with step 12. Honestly, from this experience, I am not a fan of the 1.5 mm derma roller. It's just is so painful, or at least I guess certain parts of my head is sensitive, so it went much deeper, it hurt much more. I will, I think, at least go down to the 1 mm and do it at its most frequent, which is every 10 days. I found out that works for me, and I never really forgot about it, and it kind of helps me remind myself about hair and scalp care. So when it comes to my hair, I'm actually just going to take this out so I can kind of show you the difference. As I mentioned before, my alopecia spots are completely gone, and that was all gone roughly within like 2-3 months of this. My hair itself, when I started, and if you look back at my old video, at the beginning of this video, like my hair mainly was like right where this is, kind of. So right up here was like the longest length. And if I go to the back now, it goes pretty much, if I pull it, it's to like the top of my butt. If I don't pull it, it's mid back. So it has grown a lot from where my hair was like up to here when it was curly, well, not curly at the beginning of the 6 months, and then when I pulled it, it went to mid back. Now it's, if I pull it, it's literally to the top of my back. So if I straighten my hair, I've got like top of butt length hair. So this is just really where it's at right now. It's vibrant, it's lovely. I will say it's a lot fuller, but I won't be able to see that volume because I haven't cut my hair in this process just to see how long it gets. If I do cut it, I do think it'll be a lot more voluminous because the bottom part where my hair goes, or at least this like here down part, it is fuller. My hair is fuller, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just very thankful that my alopecia spots are gone, and those spots are not sparse, they're thicker. So I'm just very grateful for that. I will say, like I said, if you are starting off with derma rolling, then definitely start off with the 0.5 mm. Take your time with it, go slow, get accustomed to it. Don't go to 2.0 mm unless you are with someone who's licensed to do it, just for your safety, because the 1.5 mm, from what I read, is the safest that you can do on your own by yourself. Another tip I had was I always started from the bottom and worked my way down, and that kind of just worked for me. It's also, if you like start from the top and work your way down, I'm sure that could work for you, but just part your hair as you go. It's gonna really make all the difference. I can't believe my hair got so long so fast. My hair usually grows fast, but I honestly did not expect my hair to be like above butt length for at least a year, maybe a year and a half, because I haven't had my hair get that long in a really long time. So it helped my hair. My scalp also, I will say this, my scalp is less dry. I do get a little bit of flakes sometimes, but I notice it's not dandruff flakes, it's like new growth flakes. There's a difference. Dandruff comes off like more like patchy and like all together, whereas this one, it's kind of just like when the hair is growing and the follicle pushes it out a bit. So overall, though, my scalp is a lot healthier. It's not as dry. I still have some dry spots, particularly the crown of my head, but it's not as bad as when I first started this journey. So I will say, of course, if you want to do derma rolling, then give it a shot. Be careful with it. Take your time. Definitely make sure you oil your scalp. And I know there's people using all those tools. I just love to use my hands because I could really get in there and massage everything, and it doesn't, like, my hair is curly, and if I go like this sometimes with a comb or something, it ends up tangling everywhere else, except for when I do it like this, nothing else gets tangled. And that's just me. I don't know if that works for anybody else, but that's what works for me. So this was my derma roller challenge to myself, and I think I did pretty good in it. So yeah, let me know if you try derma rolling. Let me know which level you're at when it comes to it. Let me know if you have any tips, comments, questions, whatever it is that your heart desires, all down in the comments below. And thank you again, and bye.